All right, so you survived Green Book, right? So nice little segue here. Now I'm going to talk about a mini series, or say a documentary series, or docu-series, if you will, that I was only hearing about a lot, and I was like, I don't know, I don't know if I should watch this, I don't know. But yes, I watched it. I surviving R. Kelly, right? And
Right.
this is a six-part series that came out actually very early this year, over the course of 3 nights. So that's January the 3rd to January the 5th on Lifetime of all stations. And well, it shouldn't come as any surprise that I don't watch Lifetime at all. Actually, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, the closest thing I used to watch on Lifetime, but that just used to be like glancing at it, was Unsolved Mysteries. But for the life of
Right.
me, I don't even know if that series still, if they still air that series. But the whole cliche stuff about
Like,
Lifetime anyway, right? The same story, but just done in a million different ways.
right.
And you
Yeah.
just see movies like that. That's the genre.
The one thing about Lifetime, all I know is because nobody in my house ever used to watch that. Is because it was, Meredith Baxter, Bernie, and almost everything,
Yes.
and that is basically what it is. Is that the only thing I remember about Lifetime is we call it by what's the name of that comedian boy? Shit, it's slipping my mind right now. But he also used to talk about how it's Lifetime television for women, but yet for some reason a woman is always being beaten on this network.
I know,
Um,
right?
yeah, that's basically it. It's just women victimhood stuff. Right true.
Yeah, boy.
Right, right true. Um, Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan is the person.
Oh, didn't he used to have specials on Comedy
Yeah,
Central, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
great,
I'll
great.
assume it's one of those
But
specials.
let's look up. I'm sure I can find it on YouTube live. Let's look up Jim Gaffigan Lifetime Television for Women.
Right.
It's a really funny bit. Not too long, but the big running joke is that Meredith Baxter Birdie is in everything for a while. I doubt that's the case right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And imagine by that at this point that Lifetime would merge with Oxygen as one thing now. Or I could imagine Oprah having like a ton of stock in Lifetime or something like that.
You know?
So okay, so to just before you start, I wanted to just premise the whole thing of, yes, one of the big issues with, let's just call it, well, I won't say feminism, but yeah, that's just women issues, and especially women being victims of violence and whatnot. Black women have been overwhelmingly kind of overlooked when it comes to that, right?
Yes, yes, which is a major theme of this
Right,
of this documentary here.
especially in the hip hop and R&B community, especially in the context of R. Kelly. He is a person that really exploits. Yeah, they really call him the Pied Piper for some reason, because this man have magic powers more or less. I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind of
boy.
ridiculous. How people just ignore levels upon levels of abuse, no matter how he could sing good, right? Just because he could sing good.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And,
yeah.
and dance well and come with catchy
Well,
hooks.
yeah. I mean, to be clear, I like a lot of R. Kelly's music. Like, Chocolate Factory is still a borderline masterpiece as far as I'm concerned.
Dude,
But
Step in the Name of Love. When that song
yeah,
came out, when was it? I think it was 2003. That was like the R&B song, or at least
yeah.
the feel-good R&B song of that age. No denying.
No, but I mean, you just had so many good hooks, just so many good features on other people on other people's stuff.
Yeah.
I still consider like his song with
No, I laugh because sorry to cut you there. I laugh because we had to remember the infamous the two albums that him and Jay-Z did together. Remember
right,
Best of
yeah,
Both Worlds,
that's
and
fall apart.
I forget the next one. I think it's Unfinished Business. Wow.
Yeah, that's fall apart. That
Yeah.
real fall apart. But no,
Big chips.
yeah. No, I remember that one kick-ass song on that with the two of them, but that whole album, that whole effort was just a failure.
Dude, Best of Both Worlds, I think it was the only great collabo. Well, that
But
and the Fiesta remix, I could let
right,
those two slide. Yeah.
all right. And yeah, like I remember, like just some classic songs with R. Kelly on the hook, like with I mean, you have so many features. That's the only thing with Ja Rule and Ashanti. It's like still a classic for me.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
That track with Snoop, fire, still fire.
That's that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, hard. And that's the unfortunate part is that people ignore that shit. He get off, in the same context of a Michael Jackson. By the way, I still think Michael Jackson's clean. I not putting Michael Jackson on the bush, but sorry, R. Kelly's our problem boy. And I was waiting for a while to see how long this is gonna take. And yeah, he really have. Look, when people have that level of talent and know to control he image and his brand, real people just take the man's side, right? And it's unfortunate how that played out. Like,
Yeah.
in the context of this show, the man music getting more sales. and he show up live in something, and people saying kidnap me and all kind of thing. I was like, what the fuck?
What?
Like you
I
see
know
the problem.
people were boycotting his shows, but I didn't think of that. People like was
But
so on shit. They went down like, "Hey, kidnap me,
yeah, that is a
gun
problem. And
me."
he really just catered to somebody worse of, I don't know what to call it, but probably female psychology, because Israel woman is be propping this bullshit up. Like, real women.
Yeah,
As I was I make that joke with I was making that joke since the American election. White women have a white woman problem now. Or feminism have a white woman problem. Well, it's not
oh,
with
I
women.
remember when you said that. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
it's like all they complaining the most body bad, but half only vote for the fucking man. So it's like, well,
True,
and
true,
that
true.
sort of totally internal thing. And that is the same thing. The same thing with him is that the best way to deal with this is that that's how to take everybody had to get against it. And to be clear, this is not something new. How many times do you see people like Charles Manson or some school shooter or one of the mass shooters, and you find out they have a set of love letters and they come into them. Like, how many times you see
Yeah,
that bullshit? It's
yeah,
not so it's a really, really entrenched systemic problem that is not just a problem of masculinity or anything like that. Like, women just fall for this bullshit and really prop up the bullshit. So
yeah.
I did watch this documentary. Didn't see it. Have a lot of things I didn't have time. I didn't go out to me to see it, much like how I didn't see Bird Box yet.
Okay, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I
super,
saw it, and the reason why I didn't bring it up is because it's very overrated in my opinion,
yeah,
and
crash.
just
Yeah,
not a scary movie at all. Like I don't know,
right.
I just personally need to watch it again, but I just didn't see what the big hype was. But forget Bird Box for now, right? Now we got to talk about
But the point
about
is, it
R.
just
Kelly.
slipped on my radar. It slipped past my radar. Not slipped past my radar, as in I just didn't have time to see it. I saw it trending a lot. And I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, Boondocks on Dave Chappelle talked about this shit 15 fucking years ago. Like,
I know,
it, it,
I know.
it
Yeah,
went
but
back.
yeah,
But
and they do bring up both of those shows by the way. They do.
right, right. So tell me how it is. It has it finished, or it's just the first two parts? What is
No,
it?
no, no. Everything. Well, like I say, over the course of 3 nights, 6 episodes have been aired. It's done. It's done, right? So
Okay,
now
right,
we see the backlash of it. We see more and more people talking about it.
right.
More, musical artists coming and saying we don't want to be associated with R. Kelly anymore. Case in
Yeah,
point, Lady Gaga came out publicly and said, well, she did have that one collaboration with a song. I forgot. Well, actually never heard the song before.
yeah,
But it was some collaboration that they did, and this was during a rough time in Lady
right,
Gaga's life. Actually, like it was after the sexual assault, and she did this song basically, right? Kind of hinted at it, similar to like what happened with Rihanna and Chris Brown, and how she kind
right,
of goes for like a darker style with her music, basically like that. So yeah,
right,
Lady Gaga was like, all right, I was in a dark place in my life there. That's over, but I really don't want to be associated with this man anymore. So I am just gonna remove his song from I guess from Spotify or wherever it is now. So
right, right, right,
that kind of stuff now, right? Some
right.
people kind of call it she out and they're like, well, when you do all this stuff about him, but you still collaborate with the man. Now this documentary come out, and you want to hide this, you want to
Yeah,
sweep over the rug and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her for doing what she did
No, that
because
like
yeah, because
some
really
people
when you hear the stuff that's being addressed here, it's like I mean I who could blame her? You know what I mean?
no, but like people like say we call him by this fellow John Legend.
John Legend, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Who
he kind of
is
like
who is
prop-
actually the only the only
right.
musical artist on the show. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah,
He like from a long time was always had a problem with R. Kelly, and you had to know is what knowledge you knew. But the thing is, people knew. I mean, to me, R. Kelly is like the Chuck Berry of our generation. Like, yes, you know that bullshit going down, but at least with Chuck Berry, you learn that shit way after. When in case R. Kelly, it's like, yeah, it's like long time, dog. That it
yeah.
was always a problem. It was always a
And that's something that they actually address here in the show. So let me just
yeah.
jump into the episode. I'm not
That's
gonna
the
run
truth.
through them like individually, right? But it's just briefly, right? So
Yeah,
first couple episodes, you get to see his come up, right? Where how where R. Kelly was born, type of
right.
kid he was when he was growing up, how he got
Yeah,
into music and all that kind of stuff, right? And he tells himself, all right, Miles is this gifted individual, he could sing and whatnot. He had this music teacher that was guiding him and all that kind of stuff. It's like, all right, cool. Then he won this contest. I think it's some
right,
the Natalie King Cole kind of thing. Some Natalie Cole,
right,
sorry. sort of talent competition, whatever it is. He wins that, and it's like, all right, he get this record deal. Boom, everything cool. But then
Right.
you're hearing that he would go to his old high school, and he, by the way, he dropped out because he just couldn't get into education at that time. Now he just couldn't
Right.
get into writing and reading. Hence the reason why when he say, and I admit, he can't read or write. That basically, right? But
Right.
yeah, but he would show up in that high school, and it seemed at first like him and his team used to be scouting for females, for high school girls to come
Right.
to do backup vocals, right? You're
Right.
like, all
Right.
right, okay, nothing wrong with that. It's a familiar environment, but then you realize, but wait, now, but how come it have all these girls in the studio? Why in the
Yeah.
studio it have room specific bedrooms there, and why when you're passing there you're seeing girls there and all that kind of stuff. And one
Mhm.
particular girl, who was one of the many interviewees in the show, was talking about that same thing where she would go into that studio and be like, wait, all these girls coming in and out, right? So
Right.
then they lead into, of course, one of the most controversial aspects of his career, of course, his relationship with Aaliyah, right? The great
Right.
Aaliyah. Um, and then it was to the point where, well, you know how it kind of starts off, right? Um, Heard about her, brought her in, basically molded her to be this kind of bad girl kind of thing, basically. Well,
Right.
hood chick now, basically,
I know.
how
Let's
that that
talk
that
about
that
something. Eh?
early 90s TLC kind of shit, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. No, let's be clear about something. Eh? They see that whole culture of grooming. That real pervasive because you
I
have
know.
enough fellas. See, yeah, what make this so insidious? A lot of the stuff so insidious. Eh? Is one thing you're going now. If you have people who clearly cross the line and go with underage girls, like in the case of Arca, right? But you have people who will just wait. To them it's just a line in the sand. It's like, oh well, whatever the law say, But they don't pick out that girl since 14 or whatever it is. Enough
She
people
was
like
12 when they found her, Jed. She was 12.
that.
And then
Right.
it was
But
grooming her slowly. And then
and
when she was 15,
let me tell you
it's
something.
like, bam, that's it. That's it.
So remember a couple of years back we had this big argument about how early children should get married. Remember that bullshit?
Yes, yes, yes. I know we talked about it here, but I try to remember if they talked about it in the States or something.
No. In Trinidad, we're
Right,
talking about
right,
this.
right.
Just the mindset of people who just think. And look, historically, that is the thing. The idea of childhood is a new thing historically. Like let's be clear about that. Once you cross 12, you're adult. Like for most people, historically, that's why you used to get married so young.
Yeah.
You get married at 14, you get married at. So that's the whole. That's why a lot of that still stay in a lot of like poor communities in the third world and whatnot. But sorry, if you wanna, this is one thing that look, I don't fight on with progress for its own sake, but this is one thing that you kind of have to suss out for progress. 18, 18,
Thank
18.
you. Thank you.
Sorry, you can't.
Not just because of age, but because
You're
of their
not
mindset, Jed. They're
yeah,
not
not
emotionally or mentally
right.
capable to deal with marriage or just that
Yeah,
all that responsibility at such a young age, man. Come on.
but it's not real fellas out here who, it's our old really dark joke about this after 12 is lunch, that grossness, that
Oh
bullshit.
yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem. Because I still have so much data to the third world in particular, of saying, well, historically it was not a problem. But that's one thing. Look, don't fight on progress for its own sake. That's the one thing that you need to suss out. You can't move on. And yeah, the black community is still like that. A lot of the black community is just is in the United States is this still, well, you by the time you hit a certain age, you had to get a job and you had to grow up and you could have children one time and so on so. But nah. yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or can you just exploit that whole thing, to a maximum degree now?
He did. So yes, we hear this stuff about Ali and all that kind of stuff. And one of the is actually a backup singer, right? One of his most popular ones. Actually, kind of comes out and say that yeah, they both slept with each other, man, in the tour bus, in the tour bus. I was like, God, seriously? Like in the media, they always kind of spin it as, oh, it's just this kind of father doting on daughter kind of thing going on.
Right.
But then it kind of gets a little deep with the age in but a number single
Right.
and the album and all that kind of stuff. But like I didn't know, and I'll talk about what I didn't know as opposed to what I saw in the series, right? In a bit, right? But hearing that though, I got sick. Like that sick to my stomach. It's like, geez, but really? And she was like, what, 14 or 15 at that time though? I think it was 14.
Right.
And then when shit hits the fan, that's when the whole wedding thing start off, right? But that's that. But just saying one time, this show has quite a lot of gut punches, but some of which does just catch you completely off guard, right? So
Right.
there's another backup singer, right? Her name is Sparkle. She had a single. I remember this being big in like the mid to late 90s. I think it was called "Be Careful," right? And
Okay.
you better be careful what you say to me, or it might come back to you. And I remember what was cool about it. It was similar to like how like his collaboration with Ronald Isley, this sort of back
Right.
and forth kind of dialogue kind of thing. But in this case, is
Right.
that she sings in the first two verses and the chorus, and then he comes in the end as a rebuttal now, right? But basically, right. So she come in and saying, all right, well, she career was started off and all that. And then she had this 12-year-old niece who she kind of introduced to the man. Like, the man was big
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. This was around the time when, Space Jam came out, and I believe I Could
Right.
Slide
Yeah.
came out. And remember that was the song. Like back in primary
Yeah.
school, that
Yeah.
was
That's huge.
the song. When Space
Yeah.
Jam come out, that was a big, the movie was a
Yeah.
big
That's
deal
huge.
because that song was on that soundtrack,
Right. True. Yeah.
right? Like
Right. True.
I
Yes.
think it's at the beginning and the end of the movie. You hear that song. I think three times in the movie you hear that song. But anyway, so that was when I think the name of the album is no, not 12 Play. 12 Play was the second album he brought her with. That's with Bump and Grind, right? The third one,
Right.
R. That's R. That's
Yeah.
the double album now, right? Which I remember listening to a few times, and I actually liked it at the time, right? But anyway, so his career had skyrocketed because of that now, because he was able to tap into that whole gospel vibe now. Because
Exactly.
before it
Right.
was just all these raunchy kind of sex jams. Okay, he had Bump and Grind, he had Sex Me and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, well, now he's doing all this kind of gospel stuff and mixing with hip hop and all that stuff, right? But anyway, so Sparkle introduced the man to a 12-year-old niece, right? Tell myself, okay, she 12, all right, baby sugar, kind of like maybe she was just like in the line of fire, like nothing happened to her, right? And then there was this another chick. Well, she actually was in the news. Her name is Lisa Ann Valen, right? Lisa Van Allen, sorry. And
Right.
some people were saying, well, why it take you so long to come out and say all these things about R. Kelly, blah 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 blah. But I like, what? This is the moment she actually come and see what she had to say. It doesn't really make any sense, see, but all this thing happened back in the 90s, and now you're saying that, okay, you want to bring him down, and that's partly controversy, the whole show. But anyway, right? So she's saying about how at her age, she was like, what, 16, right? And
Yep.
she ended up in these little sex relationships with Arna, right? With Kelly. And then there was a
Yeah.
moment where she had to do this threesome with this next chick, but with this next girl, sorry. But at the time, she thought that she was 15. When she do show and find out how old she is, she was 13, or either 12 or 13, Dread.
Right.
And then the next shot is Sparkle crying and saying, I should not have introduced that guy to my niece, Dread.
Right.
And I had to play it back again because I missed it. But then when it hit me the second time, I was like, my God, that happened, Dread. You
Yeah.
take your backup singer niece and put you into that shit, Dread.
Yeah.
Nah, boy. But anyway, so episode 3 and 4 is basically the infamous sex tape and the peeing
Right.
and all that kind of stuff.
That's
Of course, the
so.
parodies with the which still is funny as hell to this day. The the Dave Chappelle "Piss on You" song that
Right.
he did. Although I love the remix more. Something about that remix, boy. This
No,
is
but
the
we call it.
edition of a song about pissing. I love that. And then of course
No,
there was the Boondocks episode, which
Docs episode. Aries Fairs on Mad TV.
what was the skit he did? I'm trying to remember what it was.
World's Greatest. A parody of World's Greatest.
Oh, okay. I had to look back at that. I don't know, 'cause when it comes to like parodies, you only think about the Boondocks extent, which was a great episode, by the way, and of
Yeah.
course the Chappelle one. What I like
Right.
about that, but they kind of hinted it here is like, well, yeah, back then it was kind of funny to laugh at that because I mean it's R. Kelly Dread and he doing this, but then when you look at it now, it's like, but there's nothing funny about that. It's very disgusting. But to
Right.
me, at the time, like me back in 2004 or 2003 or whatever, when he did that sketch, right? It's like, yeah, it is disgusting. It is pervert. It's nasty, right?
Yep.
But it's R. Kelly doing this shit. It's a guy who just croon and do all these good hooks there, these sticky
Right.
hooks, which is why when Dave Chappelle put his spin on it, it was funny because he was taking like what he did with Ignition, the original one, and just poking fun at that. And that's what make it so funny. So not so much that we laugh at the victims, is just we laugh at the fact that it's this guy who does all this stuff, who sings so well, and this is what he doing behind the scenes, and that's the joke. You know what I mean? But they never go
Yeah.
out the way to say that what Dave Chappelle did was wrong. It was funny at the time. Everybody was talking about it. But then, and this is something that I didn't even pick up on. What he did, what R. Kelly did at the time, he just dropped more songs at the time. So he just got more and more popular. So he had the Ignition remix, which was ridiculously large. It was all over the place. I actually loved that remix. And it was just so incredibly catchy, right? And then, of course, Step in the Name of Love, the Chocolate Factory album came out. So he was always in the mainstream. He was always on radio. So like when you see him in court and all that kind of stuff, which you go into the fourth episode, the People versus R. Kelly, it's like once again, which is what the Boondocks was taking shots at. Black America come and say, "Oh, you're putting a black celebrity and you want to prosecute him, but you all don't know because you're doing this because he's black." You know what I mean? So is that sort of manipulation?
By the context of this. I think this was right after Michael Jackson get off, right?
Yes.
Second time.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And so all of that, like,
I think it was a couple of years. I think it was a couple of years before, if I'm not mistaken.
Before Michael's second time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I can't remember the time.
I could be wrong. I'm not too sure about the timeline there, but it could. It's probably either before or afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is unfortunate. So back when in late high school, early college, I remember a friend when we was in the computer lab. Everybody just gross about the whole thing, and it had people who just watching the tape because it was on the internet. Like,
well, here's the thing. I never could have find it to know. I always figured that it was just some VHS thing. You get at some swap meet or some kind of thing. So when you see it, I didn't think that they actually digitized it and put it online. Cause like, wait, that hard to find it.
Yeah, I didn't get the sense that that's a thing that you can just do online. Like, you start to see the power of the internet of, oh shit, anything can be on the internet now. But I remember I was in the computer lab and a friend was watching it. And he was just cracking up, making jokes about the whole thing. And, way, boy, that looking like R. Kelly, boy, that really R. Kelly, all kind of thing. And one of the big takeaways was two things. One, if the girl was older, because, there's another thing about black women that we had to talk about, which is the idea of black women get big early now, right? And this is like actual, for the most part, solid biology of, black women black girls on average is enter puberty a little earlier now. I think about a year earlier on. So real fellas was saying that girl can't be that young, boy. She had to be at least 17. She had to be at least 16. Fellas.
Right, because she developed now. Yeah.
Right. And so I remember that. And I remember watching the thing and I was like, I turned and watching, and the girl, right when the scene when I turned to watch what they was talking about, because I was doing work, in the lab, talking shit at the same time. I remember turning and seeing that girl face. I remember seeing the face. I'm like, that is no fucking way. That girl at least 60. That girl had to be like under 50. When I see that.
Right.
And then when the big sell is not Kelly, because that was the defense, right? That wasn't Kelly.
Apparently it was his brother. It was his brother. His older brother actually, who actually is interviewed in the film. And the man's still incarcerated for I can't remember what, but he's in jail right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead now.
Right. So last two episodes, and this is where things get really more powerful, really more shocking actually for me. And I'll tell you why once again, me not knowing these things. So last two episodes basically deal with the whole sex cult thing, right? So I don't want to come off as if I completely oblivious to everything. So I didn't know anything about no sex cult, blah, 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 right? The thing is, well, I'll tell you the reason why, right? Because you see in the 2000s, R. Kelly was the man when it comes to R&B and, his collaborations now, right? He was big. But then in the 2010s, his popularity just waned off now. So it's like, all right, anybody still care about this man? No, I don't care. So when this whole sex cult thing, I just figure, oh, this is just some kind of thing to get him back into the spotlight now. But I didn't care because you wasn't hearing his music on the radio. It's like in the 90s and stuff, because his music was so big, you couldn't help but, overhear about the thing with Aaliyah. And then in the 2000s, especially with the video, you couldn't help but think about that because, when he had stuff like World's Greatest and Step in the Name of Love, you know what I mean? Like he was hearing this man on the radio. So now in the 2010s, it's like, nobody cares about the man though. But even though they went out
Right.
to say he put out a couple of albums, but they weren't as good as say Chocolate Factory, of course, right? So
Right.
the whole sex cult thing, I was just like, all right, y'all had to go, y'all really had to go out of your way to prove that this actually exists. I remember in his song which he brought out last year, which yes is one of the worst songs of 2018, by the way, I admit, where he
Right.
says, "What's the definition of a cult? What's the definition of a sex slave?"
Okay,
And
enough.
oh, by the way, so I did a was a scene video where I actually listened to the full track right the night before,
Yes.
and then I just
Yeah.
teed my colleagues and put out some quality I admit challenge where it's like how long can you suffer through this song before you just give up, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't even get to that point when he mentioned the whole sex cult thing. I was just like sex cult, okay, whatever, right? But yeah, episode 5 goes deep into that where it's basically these I don't want to call them groupies, but fans of R. Kelly, super fans as they call, right? Either
Right.
those who supported him during the trial, or who just went to a concert, and he would just
Yeah.
pick one of these girls up and
Yeah.
sweet talk them and whatnot, bring them to
Yeah.
his home and or one of his two mansions, actually, have sex and whatnot. But then it just turns to, oh, you gotta call me daddy, you gotta stay here. You're gonna do it as
Yeah.
I say. You can't go in the bathroom unless I tell you to. You can't come down the stairs unless I tell you to. And it's just like slavery just is or
Yeah.
like just a dark version of being a pimp trade. Actually,
Right. Right. Yeah.
one of the parents of the girls, well, all the missing girls actually, because the title is All the Missing Girls, was saying, yeah, he's a bona fide pimp trade. He's a pimp.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what made it even more creepier, Jed, is that you saw parents come out. It wasn't just backup singers or girls who just met R. Kelly during a concert or at the mall or something like that. It's parents of girls who went to his shows and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
One family in particular was saying, well, how he had a party, this special party, and invited R. Kelly, right? And then his daughter was there, and she and all get trapped into this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's to the point that they not seeing
Trippings.
their daughter. Every time they're trying to call her, she's not answering the phone. And it's like, well, we know he in there, but then afterwards he ended up having to um foreclose on the mansions now. So now we're hearing that they in some apartment somewhere. When I say they, I mean like individually, yeah. So you have these really poignant moments where the parents trying to find out where the daughters are. You know what I mean? There's one
Yeah.
really, really, really tragic scene, Jed. Well, I shouldn't say tragic, but this really heartbreaking scene, Jed, where this mother literally going to this hotel, I think it's Atlanta, trying to find a daughter. And like she was like missing for like what 3 years, and by the time
Oh,
she
that
actually
thing.
see her, it's just like she dazed, you know what I mean? She just saying nothing wrong, nothing wrong. I don't want to go
Right.
back home. I mean, no, you know what I mean? So when it really hit me how
That's a cult.
manipulative this man is, Jed, like mentally
Yeah.
just breaking these girls down. I was just like,
Yeah.
wow, boy.
It's a real
That is
Charles
some
Manson.
fucked up shit, Jared.
Yeah. It's a real Charles Manson thing going on there.
Yeah, boy.
You
So
know?
now we get to the slightly optimistic finale called Black Girls Matter. And this is
Right.
where it kind of answers the question, hey, why are we doing this in 2019, guys?
You know?
And yes, it does have to do with what happened last year with Bill Cosby, and actually the founder of the Me Too movement is interviewed here as well.
Okay,
Um,
right, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like they were just waiting for the right time. It's just as they find out about the sex cult thing, like that was the last straw. The sex cult
Yeah.
thing was the last straw, and
Because
that's when they just
because
take actions. It's like nah, he going
I'll say
down, Dread. Going
yeah,
down.
exactly. Because back in the when it was 2001, when I was 2004, whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Right.
yeah, up to like mid 2000s. Yeah,
I thought that would have been it. You're done, move on.
me too. I
Like,
thought so. Yeah, like
uh,
they would just blow
then it,
away whatever.
and then I didn't see the sex cult shit come up. I was like, you're fucking serious with this? Like, oh well, he have a problem, though. He had a sussy out, though.
Yeah,
And it could take a while because it had real people who defend this man, eh?
yeah, yeah,
Real people.
yeah, yeah.
Man is very, very,
But good
very,
thing that you mentioned. You thought that it was gonna blow off, or you thought it would have been over now when the
yeah, and
trial ended.
I thought he would
Yeah,
have been like, look, get some help, dude. You have a problem. You get off, you get a second chance. Suss out yourself now. that
Yeah.
thing that you don't quiet down. Nah.
Yeah.
Carry
But
yourself.
what was so incredibly shocking and disturbing to me, Jed, is that he just kept at it, Jed.
Yeah.
Every time he ends up in a corner, something will happen. He'll get his legal team to get him out, and he will still go at it. He will still find some deal. He will still mentally mess up. He will be verbally and physically abusive to if it comes to that point. And it just keeps going on and on and on, Jed, for years, Jed. And just seeing each and every of these victims, speak out
Yeah.
about it was just real shocking, Jed. It's like, okay, thinking, okay, he was in hot water with the whole sex tape thing. All right, cool. So
Yeah.
let me just kind of fix myself,
Yeah.
get things back in order, try to
Never piss off.
build my fan base. No, he just
There's the
kept
part
going
about it.
at
There's
it.
the part, as you say, Aaron Magruder, make the point in Boondocks about that. R. Kelly needs some help. Like by
Yeah,
then
he need help. Yeah.
Because let us be clear about something. This is an interesting argument. Again, remember I keep talking about why does that so many people back in Trinidad, we had our own version of this bullshit play itself out. We had so many people come out to the woodwork to defend that foolishness.
Yes.
The match thing now. And my thing was, what is it defending exactly? Right? What exactly are you defending in terms of what you're defending? History, you're defending tradition? None of that don't make any sense in the context of the argument. It's like, no, you're just pushing the line up. It have no reason to look. I'm a person that don't believe in hard lines in the sand when it comes to ethics, right? But the reason why these hard lines exist because you always have some motherfucker who's always carried to the most extreme, right? Like a R. Kelly or something like that.
Yes,
that means you have a whole culture of people who defend the nonsense. That's why you draw the line far enough so nobody can have a debate. As in, once you cross there, that means you're in trouble. If you're debating it, that means it's something you're suspicious, right? Not going to judge you in that context, but they're going to judge you in the sense of, hey, why does you want to cross this line for that reason? And that's the same with R. Kelly. R. Kelly, dude, you are a millionaire, right?
Exactly.
Even though the whole grooming thing is still sus as hell, at least you have the sense to cross to say, all right, I'm going to wait. Grooming is still gross already because it's still have a whole culture of people like that, right? Where they will wait, but they still know the girl and they know the girl going to start to explore herself around 16. That shit now. It's real fellas like that, right?
Yeah.
You'd think you'd at least have that sense. Can't do that. Can't even fucking do that. And that is where you understand a person who in a position of power and wealth, that is when you had to wipe them out, right? Because dude, all you had to do is just fucking wait. Like, just wait. Like, even, as I say, I don't like letter the law, hard lines in the sand attitude. But at least that is where you could, that is where the safety net is now. Can't fucking do that, get destroyed. Sorry.
Exactly. Right. Just a couple things I want to mention, right? So with that last episode, and oh yes, I forgot to mention, of course, his ex-wife Andrea Kelly is interviewed as well, and just hearing this stuff from her too was real heartbreaking as well too. Because clearly she was just a smokescreen. It's like, oh well, he married, he can't be doing all this to all these other girls, but even she and even Andrea went through some abuse as well. They shared up leaving with her, well, 3 children. Actually, just recently in the news, Andrea's daughter came out and said, well, I mean, Robert Kelly's my dad, but I don't want nothing to do with him, Jed. I mean, because I just know about the things that he did. I just really don't care about it.
The sad part about that is that when money started to jump up now, we go see where she go be now. Like, if she,
well,
just be surprised, because people saying that shit, but when money started to jump up now, because again, the man is a multi-millionaire. So where that money gone to? Where that who gone take whoever money? They're gonna sue him and take all the money and take half or take all? Possibly, we're not sure.
Yeah, possibly. But with this episode here, basically that's where we see the Times Up movement come in, basically saying, well, we don't want to hear his music anymore. It was so strong, Jed, that a popular radio DJ who have always defended any man, I always play his music. Literally just say, you know what? I done.
Yeah.
I done. You have pretty much given me you pretty much given me a solid argument here. I done play his music. I done.
Yeah.
And you went to boycott his shows and whatnot. But it's not, I would start off small, because it's just like, all right, we'll go to a show. All right, some of the fans out there outside they waited again, said they laughing at we, whatever. But then we just keep going and going and going. And then other artists stepped up. There's this great interview with Chanty Rapper saying, I used to look up to this guy. One great
Yeah.
scene. I was all that hit the news, but I finally got to see the interview. Actually, was with my boy Vince Staples during Coachella.
Right.
Come and say, yeah, the man is a pedophile, Dread, and we still bigging up this guy. Like, what we doing this for, Dread? Like, you know.
Yeah.
And then of course
Yes.
John Legend, who I say is the sole musical. Well, sorry, him and Sparkle actually is the only two musicians
Right.
being interviewed. But he, even though he didn't have much screen time, was saying, but yeah, time's up, Dread.
Yeah, from long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta go,
long
Jen. You
time.
gotta go. Yeah.
Uh, yes, the thing too is that okay, so the part I don't know if did the documentary address that he himself was most likely abuse of sexual abuse when he was a child? Did they address
Yeah,
that?
yeah. They brought that up in the first episode. They didn't say who it
Okay.
was, but they hint that it was a relative that did it. Well, first it was some person in the neighborhood, but then afterwards it
Okay.
was a relative that molested them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't even know about until the I Admit song, right? He said, a
Right, right, right,
relative
right.
did touch me. Right.
Yep,
Anyway,
right.
so getting into reviews, let me get the review on time. I don't want to stay too long on it, right? Um, so I went in with this, right? And I was worried. I was worried that it was going to be, well, of course, it's propaganda. I mean, it's a documentary, right? So of course it's gonna have, it is propaganda, right? But I was worried that it was going to be like 100% hate-filled bile against R. Kelly and just making this guy appear evil, right? No,
Right.
that was like a little criticism I had with the first episode,
Right.
with the first couple episodes, especially with because of course R. Kelly was not involved in the creation of this documentary, duh. But I talk about
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
pictures that they would choose, right?
yeah.
Like they would kind of color correct them or choose these pictures to make them look
You
all ominous and
really want
dark and
feedback.
evil. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like in the intro, for example, the
Not
title
looking for that.
sequence is here with these shades on and make him look like
Right.
so dark. Now, you know what I mean?
But as I say, it's what I call the Willie Horton effect. If you know who that is, look it up. Look it up. Ask your parents' kids. Or even O.J. Simpson. Right? Remember when he was on the magazine? It's
Yes,
have
yes,
ways to right, a little manipulative in the worst, catering to the worst aspects of our society.
yeah,
Doing manipulation in that. But well, go ahead now.
yeah. So R. Kelly's a guy who always smoking these cigars, right? But even they'll take a picture of him smoking a cigar and make that look like incredibly creepy and evil. Now.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
all right, I worried here. I worried. I'm not
Right.
saying that R. Kelly don't deserve this, but
But yeah,
let me give the man
yeah,
a little
yeah,
chance to speak himself, to speak his mind. So this is why I like in the first episode where they give you a backstory. Tell you where you come from, why this, and then from there
yeah,
it's just like, oh well, this is where you start to look for them girls in the high school, and it starts off slower, and then there's builds and builds with Aaliyah and stuff like that, and then the sex tape and all that kind of stuff. But it just kind of culminates with that sex girl thing, and by that time, around episode 5, if you don't
yeah,
have like resentment for R. Kelly by now, then you clearly a fan, like a super fan, Trent. But even
yeah.
they interview super fans, and even they and all get caught in this web trend. But another thing, and I was like, I tell myself too, all right, I don't want to be a nitpicker. I don't want to say, oh, they could have ultra key this thing properly. Like when I realized
Right,
I was thinking about ultra keying when it comes to the interviews, like
right, right.
the interviews, I was like, all right, Matthew, stop thinking about the technical stuff. Right? So I
Yeah,
say, okay, it's Lifetime. Maybe they
edgy.
being a little manipulative because I already know this shit get real views, eh? Like real
Yeah, yeah.
people check this out
Yeah,
on Lifetime, eh? Real
yes,
views, eh?
yeah,
Probably the most views you ever had in like ages, right? And that's
yeah,
saying a
yeah.
lot, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I went in biased because like, all right, this Lifetime and doing this thing. Let me pick this one guy that nobody takes shots at because they never do anything with Bill Cosby. They never do anything with Harvey Weinstein, but R. Kelly, whoo, yeah, boy, and we have decades of stuff that we could throw at him, boy. So I thought it was gonna
Right.
be like that, shit. But then when the interviews came in and the stories got darker and darker and more heartbreaking, shit, that one I was like, all right, forget all the technical stuff, shit. Is about the interviewees, is about what's being said, right? Even they even bring in like a couple of like clinical psychologists as well too, and explain
Yeah,
how pathological the stuff that Arcade was doing, and it just
right.
made sense, right? And it just kept
Yeah,
building and building from there. And I have to say, by 2 weeks in, and this is hands down one of the best TV shows or shows of TV anything that I've seen in 2019,
okay.
Dread. This
Nice.
is awful, Dread, and I would not put this up in OJ Me in America, which was my
Right.
favorite movie of 2016. but
Right.
it's close there. It's close. It's not
Right.
perfect, right? Especially from a technical aspect. Like you see, when I was telling myself, all right, but they could have fixed that, the ultra keying, but like if you really wanted to nitpick the show, then you'll be talking about ultra key, Jim. I was like, nah,
No,
forget
no,
about
yeah.
that. It's a
Okay,
TV
but
show. A TV. Think about what's being shown. Sorry, think about what's being said. And then as the stories developed, Jed, as it got deeper and deeper into R. Kelly's career, Jed, I just got more and more angry, Jed. But it's not so much about the stuff that he did, but just how we were seduced by him now, especially in the 2000s, where I was saying, well, the man was on top of the game now, because while that stuff was going on with the whole sex tape trial and whatnot, he was still dropping music though, and we were still like, yeah, so
yeah.
it's a sort of manipulation on just the public, just the public subconscious though. That was what really struck me the most. Like, yes, the victim stories are shocking and whatnot, but it's just how the whole world was just like, but it's R. Kelly, Dread. I mean, come
I
on.
mean,
We all felt like that, Dread. I felt like that. I confess that. We like that's why I could laugh at stuff like piss on you, the sketch and be like, whatever. Like y'all
yeah.
really need to show me proof that whether whether it was
No,
true and that
I
it didn't bother me. But then as I hear more and more about it, as they really justify what went down, it's like, well, yeah, that sketch was funny aside, but other than that, no, that this was terrible, Dread. How you could do something like this, you know?
yeah. No, look. As I say, you had to do what you call the again, jury of your peers and whatnot. So he get away. It have enough examples of that in the U.S. justice system. But again, you thought, all right, you're so close to the edge, and you could have been, going away for however years, and you still continue your BS now. And that is the problem. I mean, it's like, wow, you get a chance. How much people who in your place would not even get that much of a chance? How many people innocent, you know, get destroyed,
Yeah,
and you still, fucking around. I was like, you can't be serious, man. You really
exactly,
can't be
way.
serious.
And that's something personally where, after seeing this documentary, I just can't ignore, boy. I cannot ignore the stories that I heard. I can't ignore the side effects. I can't ignore how these women felt after what R. Kelly did. It's unforgivable, Jed. There's no excuse
Yeah,
for this, Jed.
and,
So
and we now we starting to enter the age of, as I say, R. Kelly, back when the Me Too movement started blowing up, and I talked about these actors and why the nature they are, and I made an analogy of what they are. I think, and it's not exact, but he basically we call a utility monster, right? He brings so much, you know, supposed utility to people, as in money, finance, wealth, great music, blah blah blah, that it quote unquote worth it. Them girls not
yeah,
important, whatever.
yeah.
And yeah, sorry, you
It's
had to
the
draw a
guy
line.
who made
You had
I
to draw a
Believe I
line.
Can
That's it.
Fly, man. Didn't
Yeah,
Kirk
right.
Franklin and them do a cover of it? Like how could he be guilty of all
Yeah,
these things, right? Like that was
right.
how we were all seduced by this thread. But just a few
Yeah.
things I want to say before I get to Marita, right? So I know I'll have the naysayers out there, the people that will say, well, why y'all wait in 2018? Well, when it was filmed, of course, to actually come out and say all these things that happened back in the 90s and the 2000s. But then you had to go, well, and they even address it where, I'm not sure if it was John Legend or somebody else had said that, no, actually, believe it or not, Charlemagne the God, he was interviewed.
Right.
Yeah. And he was saying, well, if it was a Caucasian woman, this thing would be all over the place, but because a black woman now, because she black,
Right.
yeah, they kind of dismiss it. Like, oh yeah, she kind of look for that
Right.
because
Well, yeah,
what
no,
you
I mean,
talked about before.
that argument don't hold so well in my opinion because of Cosby. Like
I
Cosby, a
know.
lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Cosby's victims were white. Like almost all Cosby victims, I think, were white. So I'm not sure about that. Because in the case of Cosby, I give Cosby benefit of the doubt because I thought it was, well, it's party time now. Everybody was into it, and he himself insists that it was, well, they deliberately take the drugs to get high, and that's what everybody was doing during Playboy Mansion part. I didn't know. I didn't really get that he really crossed that line and say, no, them girls didn't know what's going on now. So, yeah, it grows and he's a hypocrite in that way, but I didn't know he crossed that line. But in the case of Kells, it's like, nah, with them, all of them underage. So it's like, well, that's
Yeah.
it. You're
And
done.
and that's the shocking part too, is that a majority of these women were underage. There were a few super fans that were like in the 20s and whatnot, but even
Right.
them, he treated like shit, But
Yeah.
what else I was gonna say? But yeah, and oh yes, before I forget, Wendy Williams and all too was interviewed as well. I didn't even know
Right.
that well before he dropped the I Admit track last year. He called her and basically say, well, ask me anything you want to find out.
Right.
Right. So after that interview, basically, well, she came out on her show and basically say, hey, I spoke to R. Kelly last night and this is what he said, so, right? And then afterwards, she ended up dropping that I Admit track, right? But yeah, but speaking of tracks and music, um, musically, I mean, I know he is an icon. I know he did a lot of great things musically, but I don't know. This is for me, and I know it was for other people that view this. Yeah, I was straight up sage red. After I saw this, I just looked up the little bit of R. Kelly songs and collabos that I have collecting virtual dust on my hard drive, and I just delete that shit, Dread.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I no, but because I mean, I'm not saying because I mean we've seen this now, right? I'm not saying that everybody should stop listening to his music because of what happened,
Right.
right? I mean, we see that he get a lot more streams because streaming sales because of that, right?
You know?
But
No,
I don't
okay,
know
so
about it,
what?
but really the reason why I deleted them is that when you think about what I said before, how we were manipulated, Jed, how the public was manipulated. He's
Right.
doing all these dark things behind the scenes, right? But we don't know. But here's a nice little song, Jed. Here's a nice little track
Yeah.
for you to feel happy. Step to
Mm.
the left, step to the right? It's how
Right.
we were manipulated, Jed, and that's something I can't forgive personally.
Yeah. And the thing is, well, we didn't we was about to get into the idea of what do you call it, the whole separating art from the artist thing, right?
Yeah,
Woody
which
Allen is
is
an example.
very, very, very hard to do when you see this
Yeah.
show. It's very hard to
Right.
separate the art from the artist, right?
Right. And that's the problem. In his case, it's next to impossible to do. Like for me, like okay, somebody like say Woody Allen or something, he's another one who kind of in that camp of
Yeah.
well, what is he talking about with the context of this film exactly?
Oh
Or what do you
yeah,
call
yeah,
it?
you're right. Yeah.
What
When
do
it
you call
comes to
him?
his oh gosh, his wife.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
what do you call it? This next one, the one who did pianist. Shit.
Oh yeah,
The one
Roman Polanski.
Ron Polanski, right?
Why
He's our
so
next one.
different? Because I love Chinatown. I love Rosemary's Baby. I love
Right.
Repulsion. His movies that he did. But like when I watch these movies, I don't think about all the gross
Exactly.
shit he did.
In the case of Polanski is that here the problem, and as I said, is an argument that you and I could never suss out,
Yeah.
simply because of the identity involved, which is as I say, um, women have a woman problem, as in. So in the case of Roman Polanski, for example, his victim, from what I understand, forgave him, and but yet what he still did was illegal. So how are you gonna deal with that going forward in terms of the statutory nature of the crime? Let's call it when enough time pass, all of that stuff, right?
Right.
And you had to start now talking about what it is that you had to draw the line in terms of what you accept and who you're going to be charitable towards in terms of that. This is where the race context comes in because you're not charitable towards black men on average, right? Even so many innocent black men will get off and get catch for things that you could bullshit about. I mean, R. Kelly, now let's be clear, R. Kelly and Bill Cosby and these guys is not where's with our boy named the one who whistled to the white woman now?
Not
Shit.
Emmett Till.
Emmett Till, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Emmett Till. Not all Emmett Till situations is, but Emmett Till situations is still the bias, and that's why there's so many people defend R. Kelly, and why R. Kelly is such a weird moral sweet spot now. O.J. Simpson was like that too. I mean, the same moral failure of moral collapse of people just instead of seeing justice, they see vengeance, or they see it as just well, oh, that's how it is then. And look, the real white people, real white men who get away with this bullshit in roughly similar fashions. Let's be clear about that. It's just nowhere near as popular and casting as good, right? That is not the point. And this is where we are to get into that argument of where you're going to draw the line and who's going to draw the line where. And it's an argument that I would like to see women have. And now Santa have it, especially amongst white women, because boy, there's some drama coming in the pipeline. I waited. That have nothing to do with hip hop or R&B or anything like that, but just general culture. And you see how they shake and how they're gonna deal with this going forward, right?
I'm actually keeping my ear to the ground, seeing because after I saw the show, I was like, well, I need to see how people respond to this. So I'm always like looking up for articles. For example,
I saw
currents, the Savages actually, for example, were being accused of kind of spreading false rumors about
Right.
R. Kelly and how their daughter was missing. I was like, no, this is the truth, Dred. My daughter still
Right.
missing.
I could imagine you'll have some bullshitters go find it, they go self, to jump on that.
Yeah, yeah,
Just a big trick or something
yeah.
like that. Some bullshit.
And even worse now. Before I get to rated, I know I gonna have people that will come out and say, well, why are they waiting now to say this thing and all they can say this thing?
No, but that's a bullshit argument. There's an old
It's
like
like
disingenuous.
it's like
Yeah.
better now than never, Jed. That's the way how I see it.
Right.
If people like Bill Cosby could go down after all these years, and then
Right.
well, I mean Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, why not R. Kelly, Jed? Why not him? It's
Yeah.
not a matter of when exactly is that happened. So be grateful, you know what I mean? Or if you want to be, I mean, if you love the man, if you love the music, I dare you to watch this show and tell me that you
Right.
still a fan of him. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Right.
You know, you'll still have the idiots out there be like, but the man sing, Step in the Name of Love.
Right.
I mean, well, I
Right.
like the music, me I care about he. But trust me, when you see this show, Jed, it will change your whole perspective of him, Jed. So
Right.
I think I talk way too much about this, Jed. For me, this gets a light 4.5 out of 5. Yes, I
Right.
said it. This is one of the best TV shows of 2019 and 2019 all star, Jed. I come up from Lifetime, like
Okay.
Lifetime,
Because so this
Lifetime,
year, right? OJ Made in America was what, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. But that one, what I love the most about that is that it wasn't just about OJ
Content.
himself. It was
Yeah.
about America and race and
Yeah.
the
That
irony
context.
about it. That is what blew me
I
away.
would
That's why
so
I picked that as my favorite movie of 2016 because it just
I
went
would,
so
I
deep
would like
into that. Though.
I would like somebody to do a documentary like akin to OJ Made in America, but for the music industry, especially the Black American music industry, because they had to do that context of who make money, why they made money the way they did, how it played out, the amount of just general douchebaggery, not outright abuse, but just general douchebaggery of the music industry and especially involving black abuse, and just to see it in the context of R. Kelly. And I would like to see that documentary come out.
Yeah.
I don't know, God, well, next year 30 by 30 coming out with something amazing. But
Oh, really?
we'll see. Yeah, but they've got to throw the trailer out, and I don't know if they make the mistake of throwing the trailer out, but then they say it's next year. Like, fuck all your boy, serious. You know what it's
You
about?
can't be hyping people up so early, Jed. What's it about?
Real Max 100. And I want to tell you now because I don't want to hype you up about it now. But that going to be on, I think that's going to be on par with OJ Made in America with something coming next year. But it's not about, it's not necessarily about race or anything like that or that general approach, but it's more to do with, just a particular time in history. Anyway, go ahead. That's a waste of time. Very good.
All right, but last things last, I'll say, and it's so funny after seeing this documentary, I got word that for the Sundance Film Festival this year, we're gonna get a documentary called Leaving Neverland, which is about
All right,
I think it's about two or three, victims of sexual abuse by Michael Jackson. So
right,
like,
I heard,
wow.
that Michael Jackson shit coming back up.
I just find it funny that this pops up right after I watch Surviving R. Kelly. Yeah? I just find that so funny because once again, because yes, in case y'all didn't know, R. Kelly was the one who wrote "You Are Not Alone" for Michael Jackson, right? And the story behind that thread, believe me, will shock you. I'm not gonna spoil anything beyond that. You'll be shocked when all they hear the context behind that song. That's all I was saying. Continue.
Well, we can see, so in the case of Michael, that documentary might be the last of Michael, whether or not we could choose whether or not Michael, was good or not. Now, I think Michael was clean. I've seen a couple videos defending Michael Jackson, and these people made, in my opinion, some excellent videos in defense of Michael Jackson. Even though the politics might be kind of sketchy here or there, I was like, I can't be mad at this. So look up this guy, he's a kind of right-winger type. Not really, but I felt like I'll raise a fist. Yeah, you have a defense of Michael Jackson, and it's like one of the best defenses of Michael Jackson ever seen.
Wait, then Rizafist do movie reviews, sir?
He's do some, but not like modern movie reviews. He do like old bullshit, like back in the 80s now.
Like right, like schlocky, sleazy kind of grind out.
Right.
Yeah, I saw his stuff. Yeah, I saw those. I love those videos actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the guy is funny and quite talented, but he's a big Trump supporter and whatnot. But long before all of that, he did a review of a big defense of Michael Jackson. I thought is easily one of the most cogent and coherent defenses of Michael Jackson I've seen. It's not to say that Michael Jackson ultimately wasn't completely blameless in terms of how the situations play itself out, but to say abuse is a stretch. But we will see. That's my point, is to investigate this and to see it for what it is. And you have all these other big celebrity people who you consider nice, that you like, that going under the bus or not, but it's not hard to investigate these things to suss it out. The main point is, don't stop believing fucking people if they lie or not, right? When people are dishonest, stop believing people. Most people are not dishonest about this stuff, and you're undermining that. As I say with the Emmett Till bullshit, right? Yeah. Emmett Till, that woman get away with her life for 40 fucking years or some nonsense like that. But she is I will admit, she is the exception. She's the rare exception. But have a lot of people who have no problem believing the bullshit. Yes, my point is to open up, shine the light everywhere, and then catch people. When you shine the light, and then if you make a decision after, then I can't say that you're innocent anymore. You have enough people after all this bullshit come out still buying R. Kelly tickets and still saying I want them to kidnap them and all kind of nonsense. Well, I can't help you at that point. Like, a decision. So my point is just to clear the smoke stream. Clear the smoke, let people stand where they had to stand, and if they want judgment after the fact, we'll deal with that. That's a different discussion.
Like I'm not saying they should crucify the man or whatever it is, but you just have to, like I say, clear the smoke and let people judge for themselves now.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, I know I'll have people who will not want to see the show because they think it's just a big piece of propaganda, and I for R. Kelly, but and if you think that way, fine, so be it. Don't watch it. But if you are curious, or if you just want to see what the hype is about, definitely check it out. It's not the best. It's not OJ Me in America level greatness. Like I said, it comes close to it. Like I said, I'm just really curious to see, just the aftermath of this miniseries being aired. You know, there's many people coming out and saying, well, this is true and this is false. So I just curious to see what happens next. I hear last thing I'll say, I hear if this guy French Montana saying that all the stuff he did was in the past, so y'all should just kind of let be. You know what I mean? Well, this paraphrase. It's like no, dude, it's not as simple as that, man. Come on, I get what you're trying to say, but no, it's not as simple as that. But anyway, so like I said, Surviving R. Kelly, first great TV show of 2019.
I make the effort to go and see it. I make the effort to pick it up whenever I got a chance.
Yeah, please do.